Hey there guys, today we're going to be looking at the Shadow of series on the 1135G7. Here we have Shadow of Mordor running at 1080p, lowest possible setting. And really, I think that this is pushing it. You could see the 1% lows are getting down to PS3, Xbox 360 levels of FPS. Really not too great of an experience. Overall, I think 1080p is really pushing it for this game here. You'll see throughout the gameplay that there are consistent drops and the frame times can be pretty concerning at times. Really, it can make it so that it's hard to actually time some of the quick time events because of the fact that they're really not on screen for very long. We're going to let it play out at 1080p for a little bit before we switch on over to 720p.
For the war team! The slaves run off! He's so bloody drop the slave! Die! Get time to bleed! The tower's depth just moves me one step. Did you hear that? Someone's sneaking about. Hey, the talk! Thank you, Ranger. A slave's on the run! What was that? Stay!
Switching on over to 720p, we can see here that this is really a much better experience. The frame rate is a lot more consistent. we're hitting consistently above 30, really staying around the 40 frames per second area a lot of the time. It's really just that much better of an experience, and really I think this is where it truly shines. This becomes a far more playable experience. If you want super consistency, lock at the 30 if that doesn't matter to you. Honestly, I didn't really think that it was that bad of an experience because this is a game that very much plays with a controller, and the controller just gives you a lot more tolerance for inconsistent frame rates and for lower frame rates in general. See, even with a lot of enemies on screen, we're not suffering. The frame times really are what you want to be looking at here because they are so much more consistent. There's no random spikes or anything like that. It's the ideal scenario. I'm going to let this run at 720p. We're going to see a little bit more action here. You're going to see there are really no slowdowns. This is pretty ideal, and honestly, this is where I would play it on.
Kill the glove! Ranger! I will crush you and bury you like the filth you are! Better raise your feet! Someone look! Don't you move! Like a beacon! Gotta get the lads over here! Don't let up! Go! Make me for mercy! You glove!
Moving over to Shadow of War though, here is where we really start to struggle. This is at 1080p lowest possible settings, and really seeing anything above 20 is pretty rare. It just becomes very difficult to play the game at this point. I mean, this is not the kind of game where this low of a frame rate can be tolerated, you know? Like growing up, getting 15 frames per second on a game, it might as well have just been buttery smooth back then. But this, you could see I'm missing a lot of the timings on things because they're not on screen for very long at all, you know? So if you have insane reflexes, this wouldn't be that big of a problem for you, but it's just not playable. You can see the random spikes, and you can really see what the frame time in general is. We are looking at 40 to 50 milliseconds. It is insane how sluggish this is. This is really just not playable in the slightest. After the abysmal experience with 1080p, I was actually surprised by 720p being as good as it is. It's not amazing. It's not like the original Shadow of Mordor at 720p, where that just became a very good experience. But this, if locked to 30, I think could be a pretty decent experience. If you're already gone through the first game and you really want to play the second and you just don't have the system for it, I wouldn't discourage you from playing on this. This at 720p I think gets the job done, but I really don't think it can do much past this. This is really just pushing the limits of it. Again, at a locked 30, the frame times will be less of a problem. So you should be good. So I'm going to let this play out at 720p. That will be the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in the system that this was tested on or what I would recommend to get over this, look at the links down below. Thank you so much. Let me know if there's any other games that you guys would like to see, any series. I'm thinking of maybe doing the BioShock series next, but we'll see. I'll see you guys.
In these times, such grace is lost on the denizens of Mordor.
Hit his belly! You will fall! I'm not your filthy shield! Whatever's out there, all wait. I hear they were printing. I'll skew. He's coming. On the side! Stop squirming! See, he's not so bad! Talk like it, bloody! Show him, bloody! He's blundered around!